On YouTube. Oh. Yeah, you should come in
remix.
Right, I see you scratching.
You should come in like that.
I told him that.
Cameras everywhere. This is cool.
I know, I love it.
You ready, Joe?
I'm ready.
I feel like a star.
3, come on, 2.
What's her name on Facebook? Something.
Campaign.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Let me check the big on this one. I noticed my drink was a little light skinned compared to y'all.
Oh, no, see, he tore his on down, and then my cup was
Mine had
just.
no color.
Did you give him water?
Right.
It was alcohol, it just was missing something else.
I know, I should have bought a bottle, I wasn't thinking.
It just came like that. Just a little juice box that came in.
Mm-hmm. I should have bought a bottle. Something told me to, but I wasn't listening.
You can fade that out. You want me to fade out?
I got it.
Your mic is hot too.
This podcast has been brought to you by Urban Mobile Square Network at mobilesquaremedia.com, besttimedjservice.com, and forthepeopleentertainment.com. All right, before we get into today, we gotta come in and let the big man from upstairs come in and do his part. So Tara.
Welcome, Father. So, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil forever and ever. Father, we thank you for opening the ears to hear and the hearts to receive what we have for them today. Lord, use us as your vessel to speak to your people, Father God. Touch them in a way that you've never touched them before, Father God. Father, we ask these present blessings in the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen.
No,
So it begins.
Only thing.
Meanwhile,
Oh man.
So it begins.
I can't even get into good
Here we
afternoon
go.
to the people first.
Here we
Hey,
go.
wait a minute. Good afternoon.
Here we
everyone.
have-
This is the On the Scene podcast.
Yay.
I'm J-Dub. J-Dub.
Jayhawk.
And
Harley.
we are on the scene. We coming out here gangbanging with the truth from the
Yes.
man Trey here. He's a fellow podcaster from the show Toxic Masculinity. So everybody makes noise for the man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the homie right here. Yeah, man, yeah.
No, it ain't from white Jesus. It's not from white Jesus. It's from the God who's a spirit. He doesn't have a color. It's to God.
Well, black Jesus, white God.
No, he ain't white. My God is not white.
Hold on.
Wait.
Wait, let's get the holy words. Wait, let me just.
No, he ain't white. What do you mean? White is not.
Well-
It's no color, but he's not a color.
He
You
ain't
can't
white.
define him as white. He's a spirit.
Just regionally, to be regionally,
No, he's not
Correct.
specific. He could not be white in that region, no matter if he was, he'd have been brown anyway.
Exactly.
Over there.
Right.
But no,
The Bible
he
says.
definitely would have been a
Yes.
job looking guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They
He
historically
would've, you know,
they historically say the ethnicity of Jesus would not have been Caucasian.
It couldn't have been. He had
Right.
hair of wool. It's
So
written
the
in the Bible
BG that we've
preach.
all come to know and love, we understand that is packaging from those who wish to sell it to those who wish to pay for it, because we all know the Bible is one of the most sold books of all time, right? We all know this, and we know who got all the money and stuff, right? We know this, right? Okay. So once we know who we sell it to, they got to make sure that the wrapping makes sure it fits the. Yeah. Okay, look, man.
So this is why I say this is the
I love it.
most.
I love it. Let him go.
This is the most controversial man that I know.
He probably just right on the show.
Right.
You know. Now you blessed.
So-
for wanting to think that Jesus is white.
Oh,
okay.
well, we didn't gang bang with
He can be
praise
whatever
white
color you want him
Jesus
to be.
who art thou in that they do act. Okay, well, you know.
Let's don't start no race war. These white people like,
Hey man,
he is
hey,
white.
to all of our viewers out there of the Caucasian persuasion, we love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Okay.
Man, just know that we love y'all, and it's
We
all
love
from
y'all.
It's all from a place of love.
Yes.
and all that. We are a show about bringing on upstarts and entrepreneurs and successful people locally. And before we let the tea get going and make it a Boston Tea Party up here, because you know my man's is getting ready to have some things to say.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
know that the expressions. By our guests are not of our guests and hosts on the show.
Write it down.
Right now, we don't have lawyers to make sure I have all the stuff. Just know, don't be trying to move on from this.
So before we get into it, guys, so I'd like to introduce M. Payne on our show. And he's coming from Memphis, Tennessee. So
Big ups to Memphis.
Yes,
big up to Memphis. Yeah. One of the things, me and him had a really good conversation a couple of months ago. Just the dynamic of how it is, what's going on up here compared to like what's going on down south, and how me and him were kind of going back and forth with a couple of different subjects. Where and here's what I like about him is that he is brutally honest, and he doesn't sugarcoat the main issue. See, a lot of people want to dance around the issue
Right.
and not just call it out because they don't want to hurt feelings or feel like they're insulted.
Be
But-
politically correct.
Correct.
as they
Well,
say.
I always do it to be tactful because we don't want to alienate anybody. But that is our
The
platform.
truth is what it is.
On your show, Toxic Masculinity, what can we expect? What is it about? What are we jumping into when we tune in?
It's a safe place for men to be men.
Okay.
We talk like we do at the barbershop.
Okay.
We hold each other accountable for the. I was about to say. I can't. We hold each other accountable for the crap that we do that is not up to task. And anytime a woman may want to come in there and overstep her boundaries, we have to put the Kevin Samuels smack down.
Oh my God, would you have a woman on your show? You have a woman on your show that's a part of your show, right?
Enjoy my program.
Oh, I love her. Chit Chat, shout out to
So,
Chit Chat.
you're a like-minded female. You're not the ones that you talk about.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I talk about that all the time. It's a place and a time for women to speak when men are talking. You're absolutely true.
I don't mind women speaking when men are around. Just be logical.
Right.
Like, don't come in there with some emotional shit.
Right.
It's all good. Hey, be free,
Don't
man.
come in like just saying something to try to irritate us. I notice
Right.
women do that a lot. They just.
But is it because
think
they're
it's
irritated,
irritation.
or is it because they're offended as a whole of women, or do you think it's just that personal?
Wait.
Speaking from a woman.
If I think
Maybe you should ask the woman this question.
It's more or less not that we have a problem with the girl there or it's some sort of elitist thing. It's when the conversation gets taken over by things not grounded in facts, a lot of emotions and how you feeling and that,
Who hurt you?
and then we can't get to a logical explanation or conversation about matters. And then the feelings get hurt because we be like, okay, we're trying to keep you on task and you going overboard doing something ridiculous, and now we gotta make you feel bad. And Kevin Samuels and stuff like that, they've been really good on being able to do that. But it's like we're trying to keep you on task, we're trying to get you to show something, but you hurt by something we said when we're trying to create a forum to discuss, because that's what this is. So I see it. I see it. I've seen what Kevin Samuels has gotten himself in trouble for because what he is he's an image consultant. So he goes out there and he goes on to break down the woman's image and what she looks like, and then says, "This is what you want to shoot for, but you are not making your lifestyle you currently able to traject that in any kind of way outside of a miracle." And then when faced with reality, they were like, my mama always told me I was cute. All these times, I got a billion people in my inbox, and you got a billion reasons for why, and it'd be fickle. So it'd be like, and then, you have other L's on your report card that don't warrant that guy's attention because you're just not going to be in that room with him, and it'd be like that. And I don't think men want to get on women. It looks bad when a man shouts them down. It's refreshing to a lot of guys that don't do it because they know it's such a tongue-in-cheek, me too, he said this and it made me feel, and now you lose your job kind of environment for men now. So when we get these kind of platforms and we see these guys go, all right, look, I'm not trying to sleep with you. You already paid me to be here, or you wanted to get on my show for exposures and viewership. All right, now I'm gonna give you the unadulterated truth about you. This is what we see. These are the things you're willing to admit to. And now you're feeling bad because you don't like what what you look like in the mirror.
What everybody else sees.
So for them girls, you're gonna catch the razor blade because that's just what it is. But for other people that are intelligent, that are here, that are on the level, and it's like, okay, this is what we own. It always seems to work out. So girls, when y'all get onto these shows and y'all start going live, like, hey, I'm on TV. Make sure you're listening and talking, baby, because the world's watching.
So Impe, I got a question for you. So because I know you get a lot of viewers from all over the country. Actually, it's not just the South, but I don't want to say like a ratio of like 1 to 10 or whatever it is. But your show produces a lot of heat. You get a lot of smoke, and I would probably say, because you have a lot of people, going on at one time, like the band. That's what's interesting about the show, because everyone's just kind of like da 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 da, and then you gotta kind of like facilitate the conversations, right? So, but I mean, on the level of the truths that you really do be speaking, as harsh as they are, you usually have, like, I would say 20 or 30% of people who are like, dude, you're spot on. Like, you're like,
what would you say the most relevant subject recently has been that you kind of Kwame Brown.
They've been upset at me about Kwame Brown.
Okay.
That's real
I've been saying that he's acting like a bully and a brat, and my folks are upset with me because they support him. I support him too, but again, he ain't perfect.
Do you think?
Jesus.
So why do you think now? After he was being criticized for all these years, so what switched now?
What switched with him?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, I actually give people a kind of a backdrop of the whole Kwame Brown situation. Everyone damn near should know, but I don't think everyone knows. Drafted out of high school with no pro to live up to his potential, and that's pretty much it. 20 years later, he heard somebody make a comment about him. He said something back to the guy, went viral, and he hasn't stopped since then. It's like you see more people watching, and he just going on a rant.
Right.
And I've just been like, I support you, but some of the stuff you saying is kind of weird, and it's crybaby-ish, and it don't make no sense.
But it's like for this guy who we got to see the bloopers. It's like, I didn't like when Stephen A. Smith went up there and put out that little blooper reel on the home. We knew that somebody was finna do it. It's why I've got to be your own people, man.
He attacked Stephen A. for 2 weeks, though. He kept calling that man's name.
I mean, I understand. I know why it had to happen.
He called for the nigga and the
But
nigga showed up.
I just wish he would have got Skip
That
Bayless
what you
or
asked
somebody
for.
else. Or somebody else to do it instead of the man.
Mhm.
But we understand, like Kwame was a kid coming in and he was supposed to get traded around. He was not supposed to be with Jordan. They said the trade with the Elton Brand was supposed to happen. And, you know, there's a lot of speculation, but he's still at his
Do you
side.
really
You know?
think Jordan would have been business with Chicago, the team he walked off on?
Man, all you can say is I got all of these connections there. This is Jordan. He's the Chicago Messiah at the time. No, don't go there, church people. It was just
Talk about basketball. Talk about basketball.
Basketball guys, okay, you know what I'm saying? You know, goats, you know, whatever.
So I guess in to subcategorize this topic, the whole Kwame Brown was upset because he was basically saying like Charlamagne the God, and you know, they bring black men down.
Yeah.
Instead of like just promoting them, or you know,
It's just you get tired. You know that there's been people that are worse than Kwame, and they always refer to Kwame as a big bust or something like this. And it's like, I mean, after 20 years, like dog, I ain't even playing.
That nigga ain't special. Being called out for being sorry.
Hey man, well I just say this: NBA players is special. Now there's levels when you
there's levels,
when
yeah.
you get there, you know what I'm
You
saying?
have to be, you have to have a certain talent to get to the NBA. You have to have some type of talent.
Sometimes it's politics, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's teams. Like
it's
right. LeBron did go out there and start constructing teams, and you got to say, yo, the next wave of players, they gonna have lots of movement. Them getting locked down to a hometown favorite type of situation, that might be rare. You know what I'm saying? Like
I always look at the Scottie Pippen situation. Dude, he did it to himself, but he wasn't thinking outside the box. Why would you take what was it, like something stupid? It was like he was
million for like 8
years. Yeah, it was like 20 million for like 10 years or something. He's the second best player.
9 million to somebody who ain't had nothing is a lot of damn money.
So would you say
guarantee it?
Would you say,
win, lose or draw, if I don't get the chance to play any basketball, you telling me I'm finna make this?
Here's the question. Here's the question, because we're talking about bust, right? Would Scottie Pippen be a financial bust of the NBA?
No, because he went on
financially.
He got that deal,
but he one man contract.
But he
got his money from Portland and Houston.
Yeah, they both paid him out.
But at that time, though,
I mean, the first deal sucks because you know he was a rookie and everything, coming off and showing that he could be an all-star and everything. He had to eat that first deal, and then they went on. They cashed him out. Now it sucks that he couldn't get that paycheck and get that longevity with the team that he became successful with.
Correct.
And they could have used him because he's younger than Michael Jordan. You got to remember, he was a bit younger, so he could have came in and been the next face. And they decided to just disband the whole thing.
So it's the organization.
So it's definitely the organization. So you look at all them players that they picked up, all those other players that could have went out and got more championships, could have got traded to contender teams at least and made the league different. Right. Just those circumstances could affect the homie alone. You know what I'm saying? Like he was talking about in the video, Gilbert Arenas, because everybody else is telling him that I got small hands. I got the quickest feet in the world, but he ain't throwing me lobs.
Right.
Like, there's money off the table because I'm incentivized by getting interceptions, by making these dunks and stuff. This is the man. Now, this is what he's saying.
What? What's going on here? What's going on here?
Excuse me.
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
If you are good at your job,
right,
they're gonna play you.
Right.
But what is okay? So Dennis Rodman, though we know him is to be like what the greatest defender, rebounder. Now, if you quantify him not putting points on the board, because it's a scoring league now, could he play in this league now and still be?
Absolutely. Because PJ Tucker's doing it. Yeah. Because PJ Tucker is that guy.
Rebound.
I get it. I get it, but that also depends on the right team and all that.
Rebound, that got to do with the team.
No, come on now. That does have everything to do with the team, though, man.
If you out there on the floor and there's rebounds to be got, what's stopping you?
Okay,
from them?
but would you hold on? Would you hold on?
Russell Westbrook out there getting triple-double every game. He's the shortest dude on the
It's
floor.
true. I ain't finna
His
sit here.
effort
I'm
is
not
real.
sitting here saying that Kwame should be married or that this man is some sort of all-star in the superstar. I'm not sitting here. I'm not gonna back this man other than what he's saying. But I'm just saying, y'all. He's a 17-year-old kid in a league full of men. He's the only kid. He's Bow Wow,
Right.
somebody in a
Right.
like Mike movie
Right.
playing this game around the greats.
The greatest.
One of
And in one of
greatest
the
of all
hardest
time.
eras to play.
And he didn't just play with Jordan, he played with Kobe too. Like he was with
That's
both
crazy
of them.
too, right?
You know what I'm saying? So he had the chance with him and it just didn't pan out. So we, sorry, bro. You wasn't that great, and yeah, they picked you up first round. And maybe if you got picked in the second round, you might have been seen as a second round steal.
I think so. But they hyped this man up so much. Yeah, that's part of it.
Brian and I brought this up last night. You remember Jason Collins?
Yeah.
He stayed in the league just as long as Kwame Brown. Who's better?
Jason Collins, they both terrible.
See, that's fuck. Jason Collins, the better player. And don't nobody even know Jason Collins. He was career backup.
Yeah.
Career
He was
backup,
the number
yeah.
one draft pick. None of that.
And just be like that. Be like that.
Wow. But this is what I'm saying too. Why did they say Darko Milicic?
Hey, man. I talk about Darko all the time. He's dairy farmer or some crap now.
What?
Yeah.
Darko's getting paid as a dairy farmer?
Yes.
Yeah,
Damn.
He had to turn it back to the
That's
regular.
all right. He had a backup plan.
Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, he got his money.
Yeah.
He got his money.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't like Kwame hurt. The man, he's like, I was supposed to make 80 million. And I only made 20 million. It's like 20 million. Still a lot of
Yeah,
money.
that's 20 million
He made
left.
64 million.
Oh, see that.
He was trying to compare like the contracts he got to the inflation that happened years later, like when
Right.
Jordan and them.
Right.
But when he was coming in, he actually got the better end of the stick because they were giving like a lot more money in your first 3-4 years.
Right. I mean, either way, man, it's like Kwame, bro, we see your career. You did your thing. You better than a lot of people. You know, if any of us tried to D you up in PE right now, we'd be in trouble. But I've seen players that I've beat. I'm like, yo, this dude is worth Kwame Brown. I've seen some guys that's pretty bad. But
man,
that's sad that you compare the bad.
But they try to make him to be like the litmus test, and he's not.
Right.
Well, he's the second worst in the past few years, according to the litmus test. In
Oh,
his
wow.
eyes.
Yeah, well, that's the hype wagon, man. Yeah.
Hey man,
He was not real with those stats trying to talk about analytics made you look worse if you break those out.
per games played, minutes played.
How tall you are, how much you weigh. You ain't never been more than 7 rebounds. Russell Westbrook averaging triple doubles. 6 feet, 1.
Just talent, man.
That kid fast though.
Talent.
But he had the talent. He was, I don't know. I think a lot of Kwame's issues, he was injured. Every time he was on, he was injured. And that's a great reason to say, I ain't live up to my potential, but I was injured. Stop blaming it on everybody else. It was Michael Jordan and Dan Womack.
But that's the story he's telling, though.
So
But he's saying
he was in the way.
But when Jordan left, what did he
If
do?
you kept getting injured, you was in the way.
What did he do when Jordan left?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I can see how, as an 18-year-old kid or whatever, how old he was, coming into a league, how organization or players around you can kind of affect your play or playing time. I can see that.
Kobe played with Shaq his rookie year, and Eddie Jones and all them other kids. He was airballing, he got laughed at, he got talked about, but he was good, and so he overcame it.
But don't you think that's a different culture of the LA Lakers compared to
Jordan.
the Wizards?
Say it again.
No.
Say it again. It's a different player. It's a different player. No, it's not the.
Oh, no,
LeBron James.
but you got to put it all
Karl
together.
Malone
You just
side.
can't
You
say.
know that.
But you gotta put it all together, man. You have to put it all together.
Tracy McGrady, I can keep going on with these.
Tracy
guys.
McGrady was just a stud, bro.
That happened. That's what I'm saying.
But
Apparently,
right.
it was not a stud. It didn't work for him.
Right. I'm not saying he was ever a stud, but I'm saying that I believe certain situations may have caused him not to be as good as he could be.
Yes, like his talent situation.
Yeah.
Look good. Oh man.
You
So
have it on your-
Kwame, if you need to go ahead and get your next live rant on, just know.
Oh, he just
Right, he gonna be on you.
keep it real with him for a week. He probably gonna be quiet. He right back at this guy on. He probably gonna be quiet.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, Kwame, don't come attack our show, man. We right here.
If you got a vodka to sell or something, man, we come on. You know what? You may not have been in there in the league.
But yeah, but they talking about, come on and come attack our show. We
You know
want
what I'm
15
saying?
minutes of that thing you getting too.
I want some of your mama's cookies.
We will
What?
We will help you sell
I want some of
vodka
that
to the
fame
fullest.
too.
Especially if it's some more of this mimosa stuff that we was drinking, you know what I'm saying? Some t-shirts or something. FUBU might be cheap or something.
Wow.
Okay, what subject we got next? 'Cause I don't need Kwame over here smoking
Exactly.
hookah, laying there and smoking me on the bench.
Look at these suckers.
I
I can picture it now. Look at these suckers.
I got hookah tomorrow.
Right. Right. I bring my hookah.
I bring my hookah. We can
Man,
chill out.
we sitting out here, we getting
Uh,
Talk about
our
play. We can go play by play. Where you went wrong? Come on.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Oh,
Hey, y'all remember this man 7 foot?
What that mean? David bought Giants. I don't have no problem.
I'm just gonna be like, Tar-
Matt Barnes said he won't out of smoke.
man, Matt Barnes don't want smoke.
Okay,
Man,
hey, wait a minute.
when did Matt Barnes
Matt
get tough?
Barnes tough, bro.
Oh my God.
He drove across the country to give hands to the guy. That's wrong with
Dude, he was in short.
Bro, Matt
Hey.
Barnes is soft, bro. I don't know when did Matt Barnes become tough?
Hey man,
When did Matt Barnes become tough?
Man.
Do you remember that Bucks game when we had John Henson, him and Matt Barnes got into it? And John Henson got ejected, and then Matt Barnes wanted to follow him into the locker room. John Henson can't even lift 185 pounds. He would have did up Matt Barnes. Come on,
What
man.
does
Matt
size
Barnes.
mean something?
You wanna know why?
Hey,
Size is just-
hey,
Size.
It's just, that's all. It's just a intimidation. That don't scare me. Your size don't mean nothing.
Wait,
Hey,
what?
you gotta have
No,
more.
your
Oh,
size
no.
don't mean nothing. I've worked with plenty of people that's bigger than me. Don't let this small frame fool you.
That
I'll
just
let you
means they
know.
can't fight.
No, that don't mean that. That don't mean
That just
that.
means
That
they
means that
couldn't
I
fight.
can't.
Yeah.
That don't mean you
But
can't
what I'm
fight.
saying, but don't pick on the bigger person that can fight. It's a
I
big
ain't
difference.
afraid. I don't care what.
I
your
was
size
always
What they say, you got to show me.
Right.
For all this audacity, you got to show me.
hey.
Oh,
Never fight someone who's stocky and short. 'Cause you will get handled. I've learned that.
That's why I'm
Real,
saying.
yeah, that level.
I get with you.
So man, how was the COVID situation in Memphis handled?
It was, I would say, it was normal, but it was kind of weird for a minute because they put a lot of the bars and stuff out of work because they were saying that they had to show that they sold more food and alcohol and they was kind of crumbling business that it needed to come.
So they have to show that they sold more food than the alcohol.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They were bars, they had to rebrand themselves and show that they were selling more food.
To stay open. Wow.
That was and as we know, Memphis is like a huge tourist spot, like huge. And I know that man, That's all I like to do, man. Just go down to Bill Street,
Mhm.
Blue Sea
I love
Cafe.
Atlanta. I gotta see if this Memphis is right.
Oh, Memphis is what's up. That's the one she's from. Memphis is what's up.
See,
Come on down.
Atlanta is
Right.
just like Atlanta.
Yeah, just the same.
see, I just got a visit now. I got it.
Mhm.
J-Dub's on the way. I'm coming.
Bill Street, go on, hang out.
Man, what's
They
up?
got- They got security fee on Beale Street now.
Oh, do they?
Shooting the other day.
Oh, wow. Everybody acting a fool. It's like they got guns
It's
just
not
ran in the street.
everybody's niggas.
Well,
Let you clarify. Let you
That-
clarify.
Bleep.
No,
We
don't
bleeped
bleep that.
it.
He telling the truth.
Bleep that.
I don't like that he wants to beat the truth.
Well,
I'm not saying don't bleep the truth.
Are
Just
you
bleep
with
the
going
word.
on
Bleep the word.
No, you gotta call them what they are.
I will. I
That's
don't.
what they
I don't
are.
call. I don't call them that.
And
I don't call him
no.
We're
We're not. When he
Yeah.
says that, he's not just referring to what they
Oh,
say, the
man.
black culture. Niggas is generalization of people that act retarded, white,
say
black,
retarded.
Orient, Hispanic, whatever.
I was talking about black.
I mean,
Oh,
no.
You know what When I say niggas, I'm referring to all. 'Cause not just white people,
Not
niggas.
all, but the
Right.
niggas that shot up and got niggas.
Oh,
had
right.
security fee, everything.
They was black.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Like
so
most of the people that do
it's
Hey, Chris Rock, if y'all need a good description of what we discussing right here, y'all go ahead and check out
Oh, man.
Chris Rock's Bigger Blacker. He has a discussion about black folks and niggas. And then from there, you'll get all the references.
there's some people right now that just saying, "Oh my God." There's some people saying, "Oh my God."
Hey, just know today we got a Def Comedy Jam vibe going right now because that's the show we dealing with. We got my man.
That's the guest. We gotta cater to our guests.
Masculinity, yes.
I made them be this way.
Right.
This is my fault.
To my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, for the shout out. Just-
Man. I told you it was gonna be good.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So hey man, so question. And I know you chimed in on the show a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about opportunity zones. And I was able to do a little bit more research myself of how the opportunity zones are in Milwaukee. And we were actually talking about it a little bit last night. Well, we weren't really talking about it, but when you talked about Colleyville, and I was just thinking, man, how nice Colleyville and Germantown, Bartlett, all that is so nice, and resources, everything, police enforcement, everything is nice out there. Then once you move towards the inner city, it's like, shit, it's like,
Whatever.
right, it's
We
like
get the
there's,
leftovers.
right. So
Really.
so in what we were talking about is the opportunity zones here is that yes, you could get a house for cheap that's foreclosed through the city, and you can get tax credits, and you can get all type of basically hookups through the city. But by the time it's all said and done, are you willing to live there?
Right.
Knowing that the city isn't really truly putting all the
Do your low income
but-
renting.
but that's the difference between Milwaukee is that once you sign on to the house, you have to live there for 5 years.
Oh, with the opportunity. With
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Through the
I
Oh,
looked it up.
if you get the FHA loan.
No, if you get a Milwaukee property, if you get a
Oh, for the
foreclosed
Milwaukee, yeah, you do. You do
Milwaukee
have to stay
property, you
That
have
you
to
do.
stay there.
There's
So
loopholes
now-
for everything.
Well, I mean there is, but as a home buyer, if you have your credit at certain criteria, and do you spend the money and basically damn near build up a brand new house, or do you say, you know what, I can move into this neighborhood ready to go, I could just move in today and not worry about anything. That's why I said the opportunity zone, in my opinion, isn't really feasible because the city
Just
isn't.
for houses, or can you use the opportunity zone for things like community centers or restaurants? and stuff?
You can use it. So like, let's say there's an old bar and the city will say, well, we don't want this to be a bar anymore. We want it to be a shop or whatever. And you can turn it into whatever. But the issue is that neighborhood is so bad, infested with crime and poverty. Do you take on that risk? Because now it's a risk. Now we're talking about business.
Yeah, that's what the white people do when they gentrify.
You got to.
They take that risk.
You just, well, what you do is you got to link up with a few buyers, and maybe you don't just buy one.
Yeah.
You got to buy 5. You know what I'm saying?
And if you lose one property, that's you still making money off the others.
Right. You got a network that's able to sustain all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's not more than just one buyer. Like a community comes together.
Syndicate. Yeah. Have a syndicate.
Well, they call them like buying groups in real estate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm calling it
It's
syndicate.
like,
It is, but
You don't have to live there. Just get your mail coming in.
and just in case, but before we get too far into it, I just want to know if we offended anyone, we just want you to cool out with it.
What? Really? Really? Mid interview?
when I say so what?
You so cold. You so cold.
Dude, just mid interview. Mid interview.
We got this for you right here.
All right, I'm back. I just had to get that.
Wow.
This is live. This is live.
Wow. So man, so do you think, because we think, you know, crime, as far as crime here in Milwaukee is been getting worse, and we're gonna get on Mayor Tom Barrett with his, I don't even know what it was that he was trying to sell us. But man, what's going on in Memphis, man? Is crime going down? Is it shit getting worse?
Every year we are breaking a new murder record. It's getting worse.
What
Now
would you-
the thing that's big now is expressway shootings, and we can't even get the damn state troopers to come down and patrol. We've asked them to do it. They said they never got the request. So now it's like they're just arguing back and forth with each other.
So it's political crap.
Right.
Yeah.
But with this pandemic, you had to
Or
expect that
we
crime
know
was going to
these are
go up.
zoned off areas.
I agree.
You
Because
had
you
to
know,
expect
in
it
the
to go
South, you know that they have low involvement with the government. You know what I'm saying? They try to do the, you know, Republican thing there. And so when you got state troopers coming in, because that's what they did with us here. We got a lot of sheriffs. Everybody's sheriffs. Jump in.
What is wrong with Republicans, sir? In Tennessee,
Well,
Memphis is a Democratic state, but what's wrong with Republicans?
Well, I don't have a problem with Republicans. My thing is their whole ethos is less government. That's it. So when you got, and state troopers are government, you know what I'm saying? They're federal troopers, you know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna call on them, they're gonna call on their locals. And if they locals is not able to
Wow, I've never thought about that dynamic right there.
just putting it together, I go, these are the people that you want to show up, but you're like, yo, at the same time, we don't want y'all coming in too much and seeing some of this other stuff we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So there's politics there. There's a reason why there are these shootings. You know, what's that element? And you know.
What is the element? They just shooting on the freeway, man? Like what? Where are they getting off?
Say it again. Niggas. There's not been one white person shoot anybody on the expressway this year that I've known of, or last year when they had almost 200. It don't happen.
That's crazy.
And they're trying to turn the state into open, where they have passed where it's open carry, which I'm all for, but I'm like, ooh, with the crap that we got going on, it's gonna be hard to be a police officer. Because now everybody's just gonna be walking around carrying.
But do you also think too that now that people are open carrying, they can actually protect themselves?
Yeah, that's what I'm for. But
I mean, because then at that point it's like Milwaukee is so half-ass backwards with the law. So you can have concealed carry, but if someone run up on you and your life is threatened and you shoot back, well, guess what? You're going to go to jail. You're going to get a fine because you shot in a public surrounding, which makes no sense.
Right.
Because you're shooting to defend your life.
Right.
I mean, come on.
it's all in the wording that you say after a shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much.
It has to be.
If you say the wording right, you'll walk away free every time.
But even I guess my issue is even here in Milwaukee, because I'm all for open carry. My whole opinion is
It's legal here to open carry.
Well,
It is, but
it is, but it isn't.
upon.
Right.
And if
It
you-
is,
and
it
if you're a
is, but it
person-
isn't.
And if you're a person of color or something like that, they finna sweat you. But I do remember when they had a whole bunch of white folks, a whole bunch of white men on Fond du Lac, on one of the busiest urban centers. They had them all out there with assault rifles on their backs. I don't know what they was protesting. They had camouflage on and all this other stuff, and the police rolled right past it.
Right.
I watched them do it.
But there are multiple videos on YouTube. You can look them up.
Yeah,
Of just I'm gonna walk down the street as a black man with a assault rifle and see what happens, and he get taken down.
right.
Right. I mean immediately.
No discussion.
Put your hands up. Get on the ground. Our Caucasian counterpart, no issue. Hey, we just wanted to know what you're doing.
What you doing? What are you doing?
So that's why.
Okay.
That's why, again, it's legal in Wisconsin
Right.
to open carry.
But there's this
But
unwritten
is
law that
when
if
you're
you
in
have
the
it,
city-
it's pulling you over.
Correct.
It's gonna definitely be a multiplier on whatever's going on.
That's why I just say,
People
man,
don't
look,
like
just
whatever.
have everyone open carry, man. Look, I believe a citizen should have the right to defend themselves, and I believe having a firearm is a deterrent
Yep.
from. You think a punk is gonna think twice if he see you with your side piece open, ready to go? We're probably not gonna rob this dude
Right.
because he's ready.
Right. Or at least
Right.
you know that the crime gonna be
You
violent.
ready?
You know that the crime gonna be violent.
Mhm.
Because I gotta come with violence first. Because you definitely coming back if I don't
Right.
succeed on the first go. So it's ugly, man.
So I was telling this man because just looking at his show and how direct he is, I just asked him. I said, "Man, when are you gonna be a politician?" I keep putting it out there. I think he'll be a really good one, man. Hey, look.
He's trying to let y'all know about the money.
Okay, that's a good thing, right?
That's how you run.
You try to bring the
politics.
city up,
That's how
right?
you run politics. Tell the truth.
I'm about the money.
Let the people see the truth.
So I mean, man, if
That's how
you
you
were,
hide it.
if you were,
Was it in plain
Oh,
sight?
wait, hold
Put it in
on.
plain
And
sight.
I remember this specifically in my brief time in Memphis. And man, what was the mayor name and his wife? It was all corruption, like for real corruption. This was man. This is what 10 years ago or something. And I forgot it was like a whole family
Oh, the Fords.
divorce. Yeah.
Always do it.
Oh, what's up, Melissa? I see you out there.
They always,
So man,
they're still a powerful political family, despite all of this.
but if you could change things in Memphis, man, what would you do to change them? Because it's a beautiful city, man. But I
would open up more stuff for youth to do, but with also saying that, as we spoke about earlier, I would also tell these people, if you can't afford to take your kid outside the neighborhood and keep them with activities that keep them out of trouble and afford shoes and stuff like that, you should have kids with stuff. If you wait, not do it now. But we do need, Memphis doesn't have anything, like when I grew up, we had like Liberty Land and all these theme parks and basketball courts.
And that's the thing. People think just because they have children, that make them parents. No, it's a whole process that comes with that.
It costs to put
It
kids in
costs.
football and stuff.
All that stuff costs.
And then your involvement is important.
Very.
I mean, more now than ever
Right.
have I noticed, like, yo, if I don't give energy to the things that I want, it don't come true.
Prime example,
Mhm.
what we were just talking about at the beginning of the show about the women that didn't want to accept the truth. That's because they never heard it from a man. A man wasn't in the house to tell them what the truth was.
Right.
You know, so
from what like a father perspective.
yeah, from a father perspective. So when a man is not your father is giving you the truth, you don't want to accept it because you didn't have that mentor in your life. You didn't have that father's perspective. So now you got these women telling you what you should be, and they didn't have that man telling them what it is.
Right.
Right.
You know, all based on emotional. You know, and that's how a lot of women, single mothers, are raising their kids in an emotional state, especially these boys. A lot of these boys out here is girls. They straight girls. They whole mentality is straight feminine.
Man,
Wow.
Exactly. That's my point. You getting out here
Wow.
crying. That's something women do. You know what I mean? A straight man would have let it be what it be and then show and prove. You know what I mean? Logical thinking. And that's what he was talking about. Like a lot of people don't have logical thinking because they have these women running.
You don't think Kwame Brown stood up for himself?
oh man.
Two things can be true. He could have stood up for himself, or he could have been crying.
Well,
I mean, stand up for yourself is to a certain point. You know what I mean? The first conversation you had was standing up for yourself. Hey, this is what it is.
This guy.
But when you kept coming back at it, now you crying. Now you crying. Like, come on, like it is what it is. And then somebody laid it out in the bloopers, laid it out like this is what you is, dude. This is in video. This is what you do. You still want to keep talking, now you're crying. That's an emotional state. That's not a logical state. I've shown you what it is. And you still want to keep crying about it. That's logical. That's what women do.
Kwame Brown, I'm just gonna say that.
You still got Jordan numbers.
Wow. You think one of those Jordan memes where he's like, that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real.
That's crazy, man.
For real. You need both. You need the balance. You need the emotional, you need the logic.
I think it's hard sometimes for these cats to find that balance, though.
It is.
Because some cats, I think you got, particularly, you know, just the black dudes that I know, that I grew up. Either you're just super hard and you cross me, you know,
right.
and then you got the cats that are kind of like in between, right? Then you got the cats that are just, you know, real sensitive, right? That's just, I don't want to fight, you know, but that won't stand up for themselves, right? So I think you gotta find that happy medium and that balance.
That's the importance of having both parents in the home.
You're right. You're
That's
right.
very important.
Yeah, you're absolutely
having
right.
them active, especially when we have those girls that he ain't going around his daddy. Like you don't have a choice in that. He's the dad. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a choice. Like he should be around his dad. What the same things that you have to input in him, he has some too. Does he have some negative things? Yes, he does,
Absolutely.
and you have some too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a battleship going on between the kids and the youth. You know, between the kids and the grown-ups. You know, they feel like they let them down. You hear.
And they have every right to feel that way.
I feel these young kids, they be like, man, you old niggas, y'all feel like y'all just this and that, and y'all Tupac us to death for the last blah, blah, blah. That's why we don't want to hear none of that old stuff. We want to hear this new stuff. And they really be standing on it and be like, yo, look, we get it that today you can sit here and with a thumb swipe, you can pick up a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? You can sit here and you can figure out how to fix your car on this YouTube and all these little Google apps and stuff. But, you know, the tools that they're using, if you don't have them available to you because your father's not around or you got a mentor around to help you or tell you how to use this tool.
Well, I think that's what M. Payne was talking about. If if there is a fatherless household, right, then you resort to centers and things like that, where kids can
whoever looking like they making it, you know. If you see a drug dealer down the street, all he's sitting around, he gets to be on the block all day. Every time you see him, he dressed up nice. All the pretty girls, all the ugly girls.
But that's all you're exposed to. That's what he was talking about.
Around.
We need the other part of it.
We walk past that type of stuff with your divorce group.
Yeah, we did that too. We had the drug dealers on the block. We had other things to go to. Right.
When you used to be 5 or 6, it's like 2 or 3 now.
Yeah.
If that, some neighborhoods don't have any.
This is a perfect segue, man. Because as we all know, who all works out at the gym?
Oh, I just bought me a treadmill. I'm gonna be building my own gym.
That's dope.
I just bought me a treadmill.
So do you know how many black-owned gyms there are in America?
I know Brandon Marshall has one.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's the only one I know.
So we're gonna fact check this because when I looked, I thought I seen 25. And they were
in
mostly
the world?
No, in America.
Oh, in America.
In America. Yep. It was a couple in California, out in New York, I believe one in Florida, but it wasn't many.
Yeah.
So I just said to myself, this is $1 billion industry.
Mhm.
And what are kids missing? So I just want to give a big shout out to Bridgewire Performance, Johnny Bridgewire. He's actually Tyler Hero actually trained strength and performance at Bridgewire Performance. Bridgewire shows some love to Dolphins youth football for a camp they held, and one of the few black-owned, and I don't think a lot of people know this, few black-owned businesses that is sports performance and fitness. It's a fitness center / sports performance. I think we need more of that. I was just saying how the Boys and Girls Club, I don't even know how many we have in Milwaukee. I could tell you Hillside, that's the one I used to go to.
Sherman Park, that's the one I went to.
There's another Boys and Girls Club off of like 24th and Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I could think of.
They got one at Holy Redeemer.
And Running Rebels program. That's all I could think of. And so let's say it's 6 of them in big ass Milwaukee. That's sad. That's sad.
Just think of all the kids not having that access,
That's one of the things I was talking about when I had made a comment on Facebook. This girl went all in on me about it when I was talking about how the vaccine shots are targeting the African American community. And then if you look at a lot of commercials, you see that they're now showing all these mixed couples, and and I said they had to change the narrative because the whole world's seeing what happened to George, so they had to make it look like they were in support of the Black community, where they are not. We need to be showing commercials that that starts to rebuild the damage that's been done to our Black men, our Black community, period. When are you going to start focusing on that? It's great that we have all these commercials about mixed couples, but when are you going to start building and showing commercials about building us? And the lady was like, well, they're targeting you because you are the most dying. Our diet is horrible. When are you going to show commercials that focus on changing our diet? You know what I mean? Like, that's why we're dying from this type of things. Our diet is different. And that's because of the things you fed us as slaves.
It's just like,
so you have to change.
You just got to look at our programming, from our music to what we ingest.
That's what I talked about too.
Entertainment.
The things they pumping in our music.
Like when we look at certain upstanding stuff where it's supposed to be like, this is supposed to be more positive.
Wow.
No, I was thinking more Tyler Perry movies, something like that.
But even I don't even want to get on that, because even that is like
goofy. It's goofy though too.
Yeah.
And you just go,
what'd you say? Tyler Perry is
what? He's created some horrible, terrible stereotypes.
So hold on.
Sorry.
So with wealthy Black people, that's a stereotype?
No. He's not. When you gotta watch his show,
a wretched grandma carrying a purse, a gun in her purse, wanting to fight because outside.
Every show has a gay couple. Every show has, like, you gotta, what I mean? You got violence. Every show has violence. Like, come on. If you're gonna
I'm gonna bring it back.
Tell the truth about us.
Had these niggas in his movie with the chisel chest and stuff on. He weird too. But I always have the little.
He has some positive, but some things I think we could do without.
I don't mean to slander him up and beat him up, but I'm just saying it's just one avenue. He's the most successful at his avenue, and there's a reason why certain people.
Because he's already selling the image that society already believed us to be.
There are so many.
He just profited on this image that he believed Black people to be.
But that goes back to a lot of us though, because that means we like bullshit. We like it, and
that's my point. Show us how to love ourselves first.
Without us consuming it, it wouldn't exist.
He's got the monopoly on that type of bullshit.
We need to show us how. If you want to really help Black people,
it's a buyer's market.
Show us how to love ourselves first.
Just
promote that.
Just put out another movie or a TV show where the Black man doesn't have to be emasculated by his wife. He can handle stuff, and he can be a leader.
He can be a leader.
He can be the
protector, the provider.
He can have white subordinates. He can have white subordinates. He can have an assistant manager that's his partner that is kind of goofy, kind of quirky or whatever, but it's still competent, not a retard or some weird person on the spectrum or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they always put.
We're not saying.
Yeah, I'm
retard.
Man, y'all know what I mean.
Mentally challenged.
I'm not calling.
Thank you,
bro.
Thank you.
Like like, okay, so you get what I'm saying. I was just saying, however you gonna put it. I mean, I'm an 80s baby, man. We grew up in a different era, man. But like as far as the stuff goes with this stuff, I'm saying give us a room where it's all black people that are astute. Like the reason why we like Boomerang so much is these was high-powered lawyer men.
Thank you.
These
This is
was
what I'm saying.
owners
Put
of
these type of
business
shows.
world,
Pump our
you know?
TVs up with those type of shows.
I mean,
those type of images.
we like coming to America because
But that's what I'm saying,
you know,
though,
he was
as
a
far as
king of his own
the
country.
Tyler Perry movies, and I haven't seen all of them, but I will say I felt that the actors the characters were powerful black women, powerful black men. Did they have issues that whatever the dynamic was? Yeah. But it wasn't like they were, oh, woe was me. That's what I kind of felt like.
Man.
The one where they went on that vacation to
So I guess
Colorado.
you don't watch the series that come on BET.
I don't watch that shit.
Well, I'm gonna need you to watch that.
I don't watch that.
Why I Get Married was a good movie, but they still had the wretched black woman in there.
Who?
The one that played
Angela
Angela,
Bassett.
But
not her name was Angela on the show, but she's always the dark skinned woman.
Okay.
Always and Michael J. White was the cheating old bumbling dumb ass.
Okay.
Oh, you talking about one? I thought you were talking about.
So just
And Jill Scott,
so-
the fat
so-
insecure dude, and her husband was out cheating on her with everybody. They had
But did
Tyler
they
Perry's
not-
wife lying to him, killing everybody in there had a messed up subplot.
but can I just say this, man? Is it not entertainment? Is it not?
Yes, it is.
So
But this is what I'm trying to get to. Though it is entertainment, and though those characters, and they've made this man lots of money, and we're not here to merit his money, I say he don't have to have the only monopoly on this stuff. Somebody else, like these kids is going crazy on this TikTok and Instagram and trying to put shorter and shorter.
You can make a
images
movie off
and
an
they're out there
iPhone.
doing that. I'm like, yo, this is the best time where the big production companies don't have as much power as they once did. When you can go live
correct.
and it can touch everybody.
It's all
just
about
off the like
content
and share.
creation. It's all about content creation.
So like, I'm like, in our community, why aren't we showing those movies
Well-
where this guy is just a mechanic?
Well,
Because
you know what?
They people still are watching television,
But
and
you
they're
know what?
pumped with images of us that is in a negative.
Tara
connotation.
shared the video. They did a little music video about not stealing cars and all that. Now the music wasn't up to par that I thought, but I thought it was a pretty cool video with positivity. Now again, I don't think we have enough of that. I think you can make it a lot hotter too. But that's what I'm talking about. In fact, I'm going to invite him on the podcast. But that's what I'm saying. That's like, to me, that's more real stuff. Seeing that, I'm looking at TV just for entertainment in general. Period.
But that's because you have the mindset to do that.
But-
We have so many
but
people
you're-
that are watching television, and that is their mindset,
And
what
they-
they're seeing on television.
they
So they
are
don't
so-
decipher the difference between real life and television.
Right.
They
They
don't
really
decipher
think this
that.
character is for real. They really think that this is the character that this person is playing.
Those are the people that we
Somebody
have out
that's-
there shooting on the freeway.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Like nobody is talking to those people. We just like feel like those are throwaways, but they got to be reached too. We can't just
And
leave
they
them
still
out there.
people. Those
You
are still
can talk
somebody's
to them,
baby.
but you can't make them listen.
But what I just say, you can take the horse to the but you can't make it. But you got it.
But
Somebody
you also have
then
to
when
give
they
them an
when they carry
alternative.
out that characteristic or when they carry out those things, then it's on them. It's no longer on you. If you haven't told them the truth, you can't expect them
You gotta
to
give-
know the truth. You got to
gotta
give it to
them
them,
an
and then if
environment.
they don't respond to it, then now it's on them.
You got to give them an environment that allows them to see what consequence really is. Because when you're in a situation where, thievery and stuff like this is jail time is just common day things. They don't see what the consequences are. Now, after you've done your 10-year bid or something as an 18-year-old, you're coming out 28, and now you're like, yo, that little felony really messed it up. I can't get hired for no quick money nowhere.
Right.
I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with myself. I can't
Start
even
your own
vote,
business.
And what do I do? Who do I talk to clear my records or get it to where I can at least vote so I can do things and be a part of my
But they don't have
community?
people in there. That's very important too,
You know?
to make sure you're surrounded by people
What's
that is able to feed into you positive things, that's able to tell you what the correct thing is to do. Because if you did 28 or 20 years, 10 years, whatever, and you get out and you hanging out with the same people, you're gonna be in love right back where you were.
So,
You have to
in
remove
pain,
yourself.
what are your thoughts about a felon who served his time, he did his bid? Should he be allowed to own a firearm for home protection now? Or just in general?
What they were, what
Yeah,
they
it
tried, I
depends on
think it's go depending on what they were locked up. They were locked up for like DUI, something like that. Sketchy, but if you went to jail for, you did it, you say you freaking stole $1,000 worth of stuff out of the store. Right.
If you went to jail for strong arm robbery, I don't want to give you a gun again. You know what
But
I'm
I mean,
saying?
depending on, I don't know if that's true though, because a lot of people are doing time for crimes that they really didn't commit. So you gonna tell me I was convicted of robbery, I really didn't commit that robbery. You gonna tell me I can't defend my family?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's what they do now.
That's the hazard of breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? Now you at the mercy of what.
What if you
Well,
didn't
but-
break the law?
but
What if
that's-
it was just somebody pointed you out and that really wasn't you and you serving the time? We got a lot of people sitting out
Well,
there for
well,
false.
I suggest when you get out, you go kill that person.
Yeah.
No, he did not say that. Bleep that out.
Already did 10 years for you, man.
Might as well commit the crime, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I would say you
might have to edit this one.
that's
We
where you
live.
have-
We live.
That's where you will have to get in touch with a lawyer and make sure that you can read and find a way to get your freedom back. You know what I'm saying? When you in there, you don't have to stay in there the whole time. If you can show, and you can always appeal and work your way out. Now it's harder, and you hope that you can make a better defense of yourself, so you don't even have to.
We're going off the notion that these laws were meant for us.
Right.
And that they were created
So
for us.
I think when and that almost
Well-
brings me to that reparations conversation. I
Oh,
love this.
That's all we want to talk about.
Man.
Man, don't get me
That's all we wanna
started.
talk about.
Do not get me started.
Okay, y'all, we got 20 minutes of fire for this,
I
y'all.
don't want to, I'm sorry.
Hey,
Sorry, I don't want it.
you know, this is what
Look,
What?
first of all,
sorry.
I don't know
No.
I don't know whose money is, but if it's coming from the government, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Look,
I pay my taxes.
I don't even
Come on.
but
Come on, man.
you pay me. That's all I want. My money. Run me my money. All the little stuff y'all talking about giving me, I don't want none of that.
How much money?
Run me
though,
my
is-
money.
What would be, just
I
a
want to be.
number of-
I want my kids' kids to be paid.
Wow.
So,
Don't
so
know.
somebody you said like 5 million a house?
No. It's not a number.
No, I'm saying, give me a number.
I don't have a number
A
for
realistic
you.
number? Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Like
Really?
now, if they
Right?
said- right now,
If they said, you know
what's a
what?
good number to give back to reparations?
I'm gonna give you two numbers. I'm gonna give you the number that I think that would be a realistic number, and I would say anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000. Now,
What?
truth be told, hold on.
Is that per month?
Wait for it, Tar.
Oh, okay.
But the number,
She like,
but the number that I truly feel will be appropriate will be anywhere between $1 to $3 million per individual from descent for slave.
I still don't think that's enough. I feel like-
You're probably right. I mean, when you really think about it, if you think about money made, profit made, wealth made, if you think about it, then it's generational.
Yeah.
And then you talk about inflation.
Man, there was
It would be probably some more like
I'm in the
real
billions.
talk.
There's this one
We
Yeah.
need to be
show.
paying from the time
But-
slavery
I don't know.
started.
Right,
Was
but
it
but
called,
it won't be realistic. So
So
you gotta give them some realistic
Danny
number
What's the name of
to
that?
make it happen. Because if it's we can't.
You're still enslaving us.
This is where-
I am not a slave in 2021. I will not let you
This
put
is
that
this is
jacket
one
on me.
this is one of the biggest topics.
I will let you put that jacket on me. I'm not a
You,
slave.
that's because
No,
your
no,
mind,
no.
your mind is now free to the point where you have been open to see.
I've
But
never
every,
been a slave.
I have never been,
So I'm not
but
a
I
slave.
can't speak for other those who have
Well,
not.
there's certain levels of slavery.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
There is,
Like, I mean,
there is. That's my point.
Because just know they modified it after slavery
Exactly.
into sharecropping, and they took away the sharecropping element to it, right? But it's still predatory lending,
Mhm.
loan sharks, high interest rates on low income
Subprime
areas.
loans.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's for
we,
poor people in general. It's not
you know,
target.
Right.
Okay,
But that's the
but
retrofit.
question.
Yeah.
But that's the
But-
retrofit. Because you know, before it was you wasn't even a person, you was my property. Get out there, cow, and go tend to my fields or lay in my
You
bed
still
or
are.
take
You're
care of my
3/4
kids.
man. You're
Right.
still a slave.
So now you got to look at what they turned it into, and then that's why they value this class stuff so much. Because
Right.
if you make only
the
so
middle
much money,
class
you are
and
this
the
or that.
rich,
You know,
and
that's why it means
which
something.
again, if we're in the let's be clear, America is not the richest country in the world. We are the most economic benefactor from taxes and work. GDP, that's where America's number one. People work, pay taxes, shit get made, people buy stuff. That's where we are number one. And you can't tell me in a country like that, capitalistic country, right, that we still have a poverty class.
We are
That's crazy to
a
me.
country
But
developed off of
everybody
criminals and religious fanatics that have gone on to collectively break their way all across the country to take the country. I love my country, you know what I'm saying, but we have an ugly start.
We have an ugly, horrible.
We have an ugly
and
origin of how
we
started.
still, it
And
still
now-
goes
but-
on, and
but
we're
we
not.
go on to create something where we separate from the big imperialist arm of Britain, right? And we go on to create this democracy that's not really just a democracy. It's a democratic republic. It's both. It's a mix of
It
both.
is. It is.
And it's a hodgepodge, and it's always some loopholes. That's how they created it. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I love the country and I think it's forgivable is once we can determine that everybody is a citizen within the place, the rules stand up pretty good for everybody. You know, when you look at the basis of what the place is, the country and its tenets are wonderful. The problem is the people who have been in power and who have seen power only look like certain people.
Correct.
They only attribute favoritism and things to those people.
Correct.
So when you got a police officer that looks at me and you in this room and go, y'all look more like criminals than Karen, Becky, Sarah, Jesse, Tim, Taylor, or any of them guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm doing that for when they are doing the same thing, whether it's illegal or not, and they are still seen as more righteous than me by the person that is going to enforce the law. That's where the problem is. And when you got corporate interests that do things to bend the law to allow them to have certain benefits, and those benefits run in on people. Like,
I got a
for
question
example,
for our guests.
when a juvenile detention center goes up, and then all of a sudden juvenile criminality goes up, you say, is it because kids were already bad and they just find them, or are they filling this place to make sure that everybody there is getting paid for doing their job? So you got to go, okay, private, the things that we've instituted, like private prisons and stuff like this, that's slavery, where they can go ahead and petition and sue the country. They can sue their cities and states that they're in to make sure that they're not getting their stuff filled because they're not getting enough inmates.
As a Republican, how do you feel about the Biden administration? Okay, all right. I just wanted to clear it, man.
I don't give a damn about politics, but I don't think there's anything wrong with being Republican because black people can't be just one thing.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, if you are a person that participates in the country at all, there's some things you're going to be liberal about, some things you're going to be conservative about, some things you're going to be very, very, it's a spectrum.
You can't be put in a box.
You can't be rigid. You can't be rigid on all things because, especially when you got family or friends, you're going to be like, well, I don't want to see them lose because of this law or something, even though they participate. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want it in my backyard or I don't want to do it.
Right.
And some people, they don't have that far sight, that sight to see that to eliminate for some, eliminates for the many at times and creates different problems. But like when you talk about the black flight that creates this situation where these kids are still in these cars, looking at YouTube videos, and they figuring out how to pop these cars off, and they driving them crazy because why not? And they just joyriding and taking videos and stuff. You got to remember, listen to what these kids are saying. They over here taking anti-anxiety medicine and focusing medicine. This Ritalin stuff, this anxiety medicine, so they ain't got no fear. They taking their fear away to do this stuff.
Percocet.
You hear this Percocet stuff, that's them taking away their pain. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think, like, we allowing these kids to just be given this stuff without, hey, you're not supposed to do this. You see,
no guidance.
You see these kids are smoking all this weed.
I got a question because I'm glad you said about the link. That wasn't. I know for Memphis, you can probably speak on this. That was something way back. That was going on way back. That wasn't like some shit that just right.
Oh yeah, that's that.
Now there's a different type of drug though. Like they're taking prescription drugs, or that is much stronger than the stuff that the street drugs.
I remember I went to Memphis and I was I think I just did like Robitussin or something, and they asked me for my ID and stuff.
Oh, to get the medicine.
Yeah. And I just thought that was so weird. I'm like,
but that's illegal. Meanwhile, you put me in jail for. I'm gonna shut up. Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know where I'm at.
Those greens be slaying in the bed, and the police said, "Hey, you got a little crack on you. Come on with us."
Right.
They out doing something.
Right.
They were selling it, but I'm saying that you get to sell your drugs legally.
Right. Well,
and it's killing us.
That's the country that we live in.
That's my problem.
That's why
you arrest us up for life.
So
we know this. Either we play the game or we leave.
So this is the question, y'all. This is
you gotta change the game.
Me, I brought up reparations. Now, do you think any amount of money is gonna change?
It's gonna change.
Think any amount of money?
It might take some time, but it's gonna change.
We waiting for it.
Okay. Okay. I have a
change.
There's a historical story that. There's a story about
there's an illusion, just like yesterday when I tagged off. It's an illusion of
change. He goes to the police officer.
You're right.
A lot of money.
Barrett,
and what happens is this dude goes on. He's making all this money, and the white farmers in the neighborhood, they didn't like that he was making this money. He goes to the police officers hoping that they could protect him, and they ended up burning down the precinct and killing him and all the police officers in their place.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
This dude was a rich man. This is a black one. There's a tale of a black man in the South who went to the police to get protected from pretty much the Klan. You know what I'm saying? No, it's real. You can look it up. It's tall. I don't have the name. I don't have the name, but I don't have the name in my memory banks at the moment. The name's eluded, but it's real. It's real. And he goes to the precinct. He's got all this money and everything. And at the end of the day, they still dragged him about the precinct, killed him and the police officer in the place. And this is old South when that type of stuff gets swept under the rug.
Correct.
So
there's all type of horror stories that happen.
So you get $5 million. Let's say they just.
Oh, come on now, man. Come on now, man.
I'm just saying.
Come on, facts.
I'm just saying. What I'm trying to get to is what I'm trying to get to is they give you this money and they still shoot you like a dog in the street. What do it matter if you got the money? And then you know how they do. Once you did,
so
they start cutting your money up, tax the hell out of it.
So once again,
and get into your inheritance and all that stuff.
So once again, you guys are 100% right. It's all about power.
So
and it's about money. So there is a game, regardless of whether we want to call it a game or not. It is a game. It's not a game, but it's not a game. But
and treaty breaking.
That's the game they're playing.
Correct.
So when it happens, we all say real hush, because we had it where our original colonies was only supposed to have the East Coast, and they broke them treaties and they started pushing across. And then we had the Magna Carta and all of that stuff. Yeah. The manifest, and then they turned into Manifest Destiny. So you see what it is. So just know that
they've been stealing since the beginning.
So this is the government that is above us. These are the.
just like they stole it.
These are the private.
Well,
these are the private
It turned out to
entities.
be the way you did them.
These are the private entities.
The whole
around
damn
us.
West Coast,
You
the
have to
half
go.
of America.
How do we legislate? Can we legislate that?
Correct. Yes, we can. And this is part of the problem. So we live in a two-party system. So right now, something simple. Should we get a committee to overview what happened on January 6th with the Capitol riot? So one, we can really find out and hold more people accountable. Two, to see if people were in power positions, legislators, congressmen, senators, if they were involved. Three, how can we prevent this from happening again?
So you were bothered by what took place.
Oh, absolutely.
But were you bothered by the riots and stuff that were going on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I'm going to say it because before anyone say anything, well, you know, Black Lives Matter are rioters. Bullshit. You got peaceful protesters that happen to be Black Lives Matter protesters.
And the people that went to jail.
And the people who we would call fools and criminals. Burnt shit down.
Arsonists and all this stuff.
And rightfully so, they should have went to jail. Right. So
hijacking the narrative.
So don't hijack the narrative, because now you look at again, and I heard the word, those were patriots out there, right? Which I call
good people.
Those, yeah.
Which I
call BS on.
There were some good people in there, just like you said with Black Lives Matter. There were some people in there.
Hold on now,
You know what was good about the U.S.
Were people
right? The U.S. riot. What was nice about it is that they didn't succeed.
You said, well, people lied to, yeah.
Right?
Right, so people were lied to. So they were good people that were just dumb enough to believe a lie.
Right.
Not to that scale.
Just how the Black Lives Matter talking about
reparations.
I was on reparations.
What
But
I was trying to
I'm
do
with him on that.
It's just
the capital, right?
Right.
What was the capital?
Yeah, I thought that's what we were talking about too. I thought we moved to that too.
On both sides, everybody that was at the Capitol wasn't the ones out there to cause destruction and chaos, kind of like everybody with the Black Lives Matter wasn't out there.
Correct.
Right.
But let's.
They knew, but I wish. How do you know?
But let's focus on the people.
How did they know? They have like what were they doing?
So that's why they need a commission. That's why they need a commission. We need to find out who was like okay with this happening. And get them the hell out of office. But what's I guess what's more.
How was that whole group of people not shot to death on site and all that stuff?
That right there.
But Gerald,
that right there.
Because when you saw the Black Lives,
nah, bro.
Y'all was gassing them.
Nah,
Y'all
bro.
was shooting them on site. None of that didn't happen when they ran the Capitol.
If I'm just going to speak from real life situation. If I'm an officer, right, and I see a crowd congregating, shit's about to go down. Shit's about to go down.
I'm a human. I'm
I get some back up?
I don't understand why the same rules don't apply from Black Lives Matter to running the Capitol.
Because of fear. Because of fear. Because of fear.
Black and white people own that Capitol. We pay those.
Thank you.
We have the right to be in there to see what the frick they're doing.
That's true.
We do. We
do.
And there's
Hold on.
But there's protocols to go in and out
Correct.
because that's a
There's
place.
protocols on how it goes down.
Okay, that's
sometimes you gotta cut up.
Man, you can't. Well, they. But this is what I'm saying. But they.
Sometimes you gotta raise a little hell.
I would say this, and I tried to explain this to so many people on Facebook. I said I don't condone any of the violence or anything, but I can feel the anger. I can definitely feel the anger. So, and some people don't know how to let that anger outlet. Now, me, I try to be a little bit cerebral, just a little bit. And how can I move around this to where I can actually make change? Because we can sit here all day, but it's going to come down to power. How do you get power? By making the rules. How do you get power? By having money to change the rules.
Well,
So
and
that's
it
the
has to
game.
It has to go,
That's
it has to
the
go
game.
further than that.
That's
It
the
has to
game.
go further than that. It has to go to those who are enforcing the rules have to see everybody within in the country as countrymen and not as second-class citizens. Once you can weed out that bad element where justice is not being served properly, we're not getting our proper due in we're not getting our proper due in court, we're not getting our proper shake in just being brought into justice, right? And then you got all these other things like gerrymandering and all these other redlining and
So
all this other stuff.
I got a question for our
Well,
guest.
according to the
I got-
Constitution, we are being treated according.
Except for the one I'm currently pending, but that's gonna get dismissed too. I'm going to trial on this.
So I got a question for our guest. And I got a lot of heat for this, but then it made people think. Do you think what will make more sense for, and I'm just talking about the Black community. Does it make sense for us to focus on stopping police brutality and making sure that we have policies in place where everyone's policed the same in the nation? Or do we focus on the crime rate that's going up in the urban city?
Crime rate.
So what's more important?
I would say make sure that the discretion of the officers is equal. Because after that, then that becomes a personal home training circumstance. Like
What's going to have the most effect immediately long term though?
Now, some people say the check would, because now you got people with something to lose. All right, I got this $5 million. I'm gonna chill now. I don't need to go and rob them for that because I got money. But then after
so you think the money is going to bring the crime down?
But you burn it up on bad habits and then you right back at it.
Boom.
So I say you have to. It's kind of like I almost say it's a 3-tier thing. One, you got to create some sort of police justice bill where you have to figure out the discrimination. Like either there's more training for officers or some sort of saturation thing where, okay, people of color are in this area. We finna hire and incentivize young Black kids in this neighborhood to be. But they don't talk.
I don't know if that's true though, bro.
Not no more. When they was nice and handing out baseball cards, they did, but not no more.
They still run around saying fuck 12.
Well, that's
something recent.
And they only doing that because they ain't got no friends that's police officers. That police officers taking their daddy and them to jail.
Right.
So
now if they are incentivized to go there, if you know that you can go while you're 16 years old, train in the place, learn through the officers and everything, get a paycheck.
Correct. So now that's changing.
Money.
That's changing the system. Correct. That's a whole nother culture.
That's
too.
a job. Now you got a job, and now they go, well, I know some of these police officers. These police officers now know some of us.
Yes.
Okay. In our neighborhoods,
So we're not going to even touch on the foundation of where the laws come from. We're not going to even touch on this consultation. The roots of it. Thank you. We're not going to even talk. Like you got to start there first. Like you can't just attack one part of the problem and not attack the root. That's just like cutting down a tree and leaving all the roots there, thinking that it's not going to grow right back. Like we got to attack the root of it.
So that's what I'm saying.
My thing is the Constitution calls us 3/4 human. 3/5 human. It already says that we're not even supposed to be addressed. They live by the Constitution. These laws are based off the Constitution.
Calling us less than a man, it was 4 votes in what do they call it? What you would call votes?
Yeah, when they're trying to get votes,
votes.
that still has to be changed. You and I understand that.
When that was originally came, it was saying you were not a fifth of a man because you're not, bro. That's what it was meant when they first started that. When they first started it,
the South would have ran everything because they were going to count each particular slave as a member in order to give them more electoral votes. And so the North was like, oh, hell no.
That's right.
The North was like, we don't have slaves, so y'all can't count every slave because there's no way that we would be able to catch up with y'all. So they had to come up with the compromise to, for every 3 or every 5 slaves, we'll give you 3.
And
That's true. That's true.
and there's
That's
a
what
part of
meant.
that, and there's a part of that is a commodity too, 'cause then they're not per people. So then laws don't apply to them.
Exactly.
Correct.
So they're not
Correct.
people.
So their
That's
life,
exactly
liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
How it
don't-
started, their intentions was exactly what you said, but that's not how it's interpreted.
This is
But-
what I'm gonna leave it with, man. Gerald, I think that was spot on for what you said about getting officers engaged at a young age. And that just goes back to how
All
poor
of our
our
civil
school
stuff.
system, man, our school system is something. I would love for a kid to say, you know what, I want to get into law enforcement as a young age. I don't have to worry about paying all this college and stuff because it's so, some you gotta go to college, some you don't, some you got police academy. But it would be dope if I'm young, I'm 16, and I'm getting paid. Now I'm starting to get a paycheck. I'm not saying he would have to make $80,000 a year.
An apprenticeship
but something.
within the police department.
Correct.
You walking
Correct.
and doing neighborhood watch stuff with the.
That was like our apprenticeship program with a traffic cop, and they cut that division out all the way.
Why?
I think it was just a tax cut move. Like they started making the
Budget.
police officers just show up to the accident scenes. You know, we don't need a whole nother department just to pull up for accidents. And now they slowly brought them back. But during that time when they did have PST, it was more black kids leaving high school going straight into that.
Mhm.
Be 18 and
Right.
doing college and stuff. They were
So
doing college
what I'm
credit.
saying is we have these civic things that are out there, you know what I'm saying? The fire department, the hospital, and all these things that need attention. As you can see from this COVID thing, I think we all can agree that we need a better healthcare system. Now you got this stuff here, and then with our schooling,
Why don't you put the people
there's
in
some
office on the
rudimentary
same healthcare
education,
system?
there's
Okay, we have a
some
better one then.
rudimentary education elements there, but then you got an opportunity to really, really boost up the neighborhood by making these people a part of it. Letting them know what their power is within their communities, and then allowing them to flourish within and consider them country.
I think, man, in the whole, when you do that, I can't wait to share my business plan with you guys. I forgot to bring it. I can't wait to share. But I think when you do that, that whole, then it's not even like a give and take. It's just us. It's us. You know what I mean? Us, policing, community, neighborhood, city. And then you'll start to, instead of, man, I'm not gonna snitch on no one. I don't want to be involved.
I ain't going to that neighborhood.
Then it's gonna be. Then it's gonna be.
Start with us.
This punk ass. Get him. You know what I mean?
Did you take me to a black area of town or a white area of town last night?
You were in a predominantly white area.
Why do you feel comfortable over there?
Because I live over there.
Are you afraid of the police over there?
We'll save that for next week.
He ain't here next week.
Hold on, damn it. So hold on. In case we don't know about Jerry Hawkins' background, and I told him when we went to the bar, I told him exactly what type of area we're in, and I said it's a little diverse. I said over here, I said you get right. I said you're majority white, but then you got black and Hispanic. So I said this is probably the most diverse area in Milwaukee. Why you look? What did you see in the bar? What did you see in the bar? Hold on now. What did you see in the bar? What did you see in the bar? What did you see in the bar? You see what? You see what? Black and Puerto Ricans and some white people. So very diverse. I ain't lying. Oh, hold on now. He got white neighbors too. I don't want to hear
Do you feel safer in your
it.
neighborhood or in the black neighborhood?
It depends on the black neighborhood. Now, Tara, I'm going to keep it real. When you were talking about like how your neighborhood, I bought a house over there. It wasn't like how you were saying with shootings. It wasn't like that. When I'm telling you that we were walking dogs and it was smooth. Chris, he knows when I bought my house, how was that? Chill, our engineer. We used to own working out at Cardinal Fitness, Mayfair. But anyways, We're gonna have them just give a head nod. That neighborhood on 67th and Billard, was it a nice neighborhood that you can raise a family?
Where did it go down?
True.
I don't know.
On that note,
I don't know. Oh
It's
damn,
2
it's that
o'clock,
time.
2 o'clock, man.
Oh damn.
The answer is when niggas move.
Nah, bro. Nah. Nah.
I can say that about Burla.
Oh man, look here, man. Hey, we gonna get up out of here because next week we gonna have more of this, man. My man Payne over here, Mr. Trey here, he came in. Make sure y'all show some love to the man.
All right.
Toxic Masculinity Podcast. Check into it, man. That's the homie right there. We want to thank you all for checking in. To our white viewers out there, it's not we hate y'all, man. We just trying to figure us out, man.
We love everyone.
We want to
Three
thank
white people watching this on YouTube right now. They're laughing.
We want to thank we got to thank our man for showing up here. And then last but not least, this podcast has been brought to you by Urban Mogul Square Network at www.mogulsquaremedia.com, besttimedjservice.com, and for the people entertainment.com. All right, next week I'm out of the hunt, but my two co-hosts, they're gonna be over here holding it down. They're gonna have a whole bunch of content to come your way.
We're gonna have
Stay tuned
Darren
for future
Tate.
events. We're working on those.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Darren Tate from Undeniable Apparel here. It's gonna be dope.
June 5th, huh?
Let me check my calendar on that.
Yeah, right. Because I was sworn DJ, the engineer said he won't be
Grand
there.
opening, grand closing.
Yeah, he sure said he wasn't gonna be there.
Man, I'm slipping.
So on that note, y'all, peace.
You gonna be out of town, man?
He said he wasn't gonna be here. That's all you need to know.
Hey, you want to end your live?
Yeah.